If you spend any time online, you've probably seen the comments. If Chinese EVs ever came to North America, they'd destroy everything. People say they're too cheap, too advanced, and too fast-moving for Western automakers to compete. So today, let's talk about the company at the very center of that conversation, BYD. Who they are and how they became the biggest EV maker in the world, and why Canadians should care, especially as EV adoption grows and companies like HoneyBadger Charging prepare for the future. BYD stands for Build Your Dreams, and the funny thing is, they didn't even start as a car company. They started in 1995 making batteries, phone batteries, laptop batteries, even the kinds of cells that would eventually power electric cars. That gave them a huge advantage right from the beginning. Instead of relying on outside suppliers the way many automakers do, BYD could build the most expensive and technically complicated part of an EV in-house. Fast forward to today, and that approach has paid off in a massive way. In 2024, BYD sold over 4.2 million vehicles globally, more than Tesla, and nearly half of those were fully electric. No other automaker on Earth is scaling EVs this fast. In fact, BYD now controls roughly 22% of the global electric vehicle market, and that's not a fluke. That's what happens when you combine low cost, high quality, and fast production all into one ecosystem. Recently, our founder, Andrew Johns, took a trip to Shenzhen, China to check out some of the most state-of-the-art new BYD models.
This one is an upgraded brand of BYD. This is called the Dynasty brand. This vehicle is about just over $40,000 Canadian. It's four-door. The finishings in here are quite impressive. The colors are beautiful. 50 kilowatt wireless charger in here. Close the windows so you can get an idea because they're playing the music outside. Really, listen how quiet that is, hey? It's impressive. This is a car that, we can't get in Canada today because we have 100% tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles. And it's too bad because this is a nice vehicle.
Now here's where things get interesting. While most North Americans think of EVs as a premium or luxury product, think Tesla, Rivian, or Lucid, BYD built a completely different model. Their strategy is simple: make EVs that regular people can actually afford.
These are some of the vehicles here. So you can see, for example, this one here is the 05 EV, roughly almost 12,000 renminbi, which is roughly $20,000 Canadian, all electric vehicle. Look how nice the finishings are inside this thing. $20,000 Canadian. Can you believe that?
And they do that by making almost everything themselves. Batteries, BYD makes them. Motors, BYD makes those too. Entire vehicles, obviously. That's vertical integration that cuts out layers of cost that Western automakers simply can't match. Their signature battery, the Blade, is one of the safest and most stable battery chemistries in the world. It's lithium iron phosphate, which means no cobalt, no nickel, and no reliance on the most expensive raw materials. And because BYD manufactures them at scale, they can put them into vehicles that are far less than what Canadians are used to seeing. Now, since people love to compare everything to Tesla, let's quickly address that. Tesla has the supercharger network, the brand power, and the global presence.
Tesla.
But BYD has something that Tesla doesn't: mass market dominance.
Tesla has reported a record sales drop.
Down 40% year over year. China's BYD saw a 225% surge in new European registrations.
Tesla makes EVs for people who can afford EVs. BYD makes EVs for everybody else. And in the global market, everybody else is a much bigger number. That's why their rise matters. It means affordable EVs are no longer hypothetical. They're here, they exist, and they're selling by the millions. They're proving that electric doesn't have to mean expensive. And even though BYD isn't selling cars in Canada yet, the ripple effect is already happening. When one automaker suddenly floods the world with millions of affordable EVs, every other automaker is forced to respond. Lower prices, better range, faster innovation, more competition. And for Canadians, that means the EV transition will happen faster than our infrastructure is currently built for. That's where companies like HoneyBadger Charging come into the story. If EVs stay expensive, adoption stays slow. But if companies like BYD continue pushing affordable EVs around the world, demand for charging explodes. Not just in Toronto or Vancouver, but everywhere. Apartments, condos, workplaces, rural towns, highway corridors. The ceiling for EV ownership rises, and suddenly charging networks need to scale far more aggressively. While Tesla has built its own charging network, BYD doesn't, at least not yet. But their cars rely on public charging, national charging networks, regional networks, and companies like HoneyBadger are building reliable, accessible infrastructure. If the world moves towards mass adoption, it'll be companies like ours that keep the grid flowing and keep these EVs moving. So here's the real takeaway. BYD might not be a household name in Canada today, but the impact they're having on the global EV landscape will absolutely reach us. Whether they enter the market directly or just push every other automaker to lower prices, the result is the same. EV adoption accelerates. Charging infrastructure becomes more critical than ever, and the companies prepared for that shift will become essential. We're watching the early stages of a massive global transition. Tesla made EVs cool. BYD is making EVs unavoidable. And for the charging industry, that's not a threat. It's the biggest opportunity of the decade. If you want more breakdowns of global EV trends and how they impact Canada's charging future, hit follow, give the video a like, and stay tuned. The EV world is changing fast, and it's only going to get more exciting from here.